Welcome back, everybody. I'm here now with that full forecast. Starting it off with this radar because it is starting to get a little active. You can see up here in these parts of the big country around Haskell and even moving forward towards Knox, getting down towards Colorado City. That's where things are really starting to pick up. Oh, and just nearly right over here in Reagan County above Crockett, we have this one little pocket here that is showing to give a little bit of severity. But let's zoom in a bit just because I wanted to, this was the main thing that was happening right now in the area. You see, we've got this line of severe storms going from, you see, Colorado City all the way up here to Haskell. We've got those deep reds, not that purple yet, but we do have those white colors, which is showing we've got that upward movement. We got the development of these storms as they're continuing to make their way east. You see again to the north of us, you see this area going from McGargle and further north into Oklahoma. They've got that severe weather watch, and there were a couple severe weather warnings that had shown up in the area that have since gone away, but these storms are going to continue to materialize, and as they materialize, the line will stretch going from the northwest to the southeast, but the whole system will continue to make its way further east overnight. So I showed you earlier, these are the threats that we're looking at with these severe storms. We're in that slight risk category, which is showing we're going to have one or maybe two tornadoes, but I'm really finding that to be unlikely. Those higher chances are closer towards the Oklahoma area, and really when we get over into the southern plains, closer to the Gulf Coast, that's where that real danger is going to be later in the week. But we will definitely see some strong winds. I told you up to 70 miles per hour, and hail up to 1 inch, maybe an isolated 2-incher as well. You know, that is golf ball size hail right there. So breaking that down a little further, I've got a couple different maps here. This first one being tornado potential. You can see the highest potentials are going to be where some of these more brighter colors show up, like that yellow. So you can see again that risk is further up in Oklahoma and not really here in West Texas. We'll see a little bit here in this area in the big country, see to the northwest of Abilene and even leaving Comanche County as the system continues to make its way further east towards Dallas. But we're really not looking at high chances whatsoever, and we'll be in the clear afterwards because you can see these winds as the fronts come through move everything towards the east as the entire system moves its way east as well. Now, got something similar for hail potential. Again, those brighter colors are where we have those higher chances of seeing hail. As these storms are quickly starting to ramp up, that's where those hail chances are going to come up. The hail will grow as these storms grow because, again, you need those stronger winds like we get from the front to keep this hail moving up and down through the system before it eventually gets too heavy and falls. So that hail, of course, those chances are going to shrink and move their way towards the east as we continue. They have sort of that rounded movement as they curve their way upwards towards Dallas. Let me switch sides here. You see it curves its way over towards the Dallas area and even stays towards Oklahoma before, again, these winds continue to push east and move that storm out of the way, and we'll be in the clear after that point. So speaking of winds, we're going to continue to see some strong winds tomorrow and even through Wednesday, gusts up to 35 miles per hour consistently, even in those early morning hours. We'll be clear of the storm through that, but getting through the next couple of days, we'll still see some gusty winds. You see here up to 35 miles per hour. Wednesday will stay up to about 25, and things will calm down by the time we get to Thursday and the rest of the end of the week. So what are things going to look like from this point onward? Well, we saw this here on the radar. We've got this line of storms that's starting to develop along this cold front. And if I switch over sides here, you'll see that this front will actually develop and continue to make its way through some more severe pockets developing here west of San Angelo. We'll start to see that in this next hour or so. Even getting a little further, that's when things will get more intense. You see more of these deeper reds and oranges right here, moving towards Stevens County and almost out of our area. But we'll be pretty much in the clear of the heavier stuff by around 2 a.m., just leaving us with a couple of showers as we wrap up the night. But we'll be pretty much in the clear by the time you're waking up on Wednesday morning, and we'll have that secondary cold front that's going to cool our temperatures back down a bit into the 70s, but is most likely not going to bring us too much rain. So what's the damage? How much rain are we seeing? Well, not too much more than usual. Totals are really showing to be a little around over 1/4 inch. Some of these estimates are a little bit on the higher side, but it's not a bad thing to dream. You see, we got around a little over 1/2 inch here in Abilene, closer to 1 inch here in Albany. So hopefully we will see those heavier downpours depending on where those tornadoes decide to land. So wrapping up with the 7-day forecast, it's going to be an eventful next overnight couple of hours. But after we get to that point, things are going to be nice and sunny in the 70s on Wednesday and Thursday, getting back into the 80s as we start out next weekend. And we'll stay there with a little more cloud cover as we get into the beginning of next week.